Well, this is something we normally don't let into the shop. It's got one too many wheels. What we have here is a barn fresh Suzuki Quad Runner 250, and you can see by the dust that it's been sitting for a while. Like I said, I mean, I'm usually more into the three-wheeler style of things, but you know, this one was a package deal, and actually after checking it out, it really isn't in too bad a shape. It definitely has one of the most aggressive rack systems I've seen on an ATV. So yeah, if we can get this thing running, be a good little quad to beat around on. You don't need any of that. Even the tires don't look to be in too bad a shape, just need some air. I like how you can even see the factory marks on the tires, and it even has the little Suzuki caps, although the one's missing on the other front wheel. Little tiny shocks. Now it did come with a plow setup, which really isn't useful, I think, on a quad this size. I mean, it was a small little plow, and it's not like this thing would move too much snow. I don't know, maybe it would if you put some chains on it, but yeah, it's missing one of the caps off the boxes, but hey, can't complain too much, I guess. So the motor, it does roll over. Yeah, there it goes. So there's some potential there. Not sure what's going on with the choke. I'm sure the brakes are going to need a little bit of work. It's even got this whole spring-loaded thing. Low mileage. The back tires are decent. Heck, it even has a hitch ball on there. No suspension, so it's not going to ride the greatest, I guess, but hey, we got a drum brake. Looks like the mice have definitely been in there. So, taking bets on if they're in the air filter. Probably going to give this thing a, you know, hit with the air wand. Try and blow some of this crap out of here. And then see what's in the fuel tank. Alright. Huh. Nothing in there. Wow, really nothing in there. Not even an air filter. Well, that's kind of concerning. We'll find out if there's any oil in here. Oh, no dipstick. Oh, it's got a sight glass. Kind of hard to tell. We're going to change the oil anyways. So we're missing the bolt that holds the boot, intake boot onto the carb. I'm guessing somebody must have been in there at one point. Still trying to figure out what the deal is with that double choke. I mean, you have the cable coming in from up at the dash, but you've also got that little lever, right, or pull button. So, yep, manufactured date of '84. So this is 1985. This thing must have been fancy for back then. It's got a reverse gear. Huh. Dunlops that are made in Japan. I'm guessing these have to be the original tires. They're in surprisingly good shape. Well, son of a gun, one of those warning stickers actually has some useful information on it. I guess we know what that little knob's for now. You gotta love those old dealership stickers. It's pretty funny, but every rack, including the one above the headlight, you could tell it had these warning stickers on it. giving you very specific weights that you were allowed to carry. I guess even back in those days, well, 1985, you know, the three-wheelers were still being produced, but I guess liability was a concern. I'm impressed with the seat cover. We're going to have to put some vinyl protecting on there. Yeah, there's a couple of spots where the plastics are cracking. We'll have to stitch those up or get some pop rivets in there. Okay. I mean, even though the carburetor's right there, they don't exactly make it easy to get in that. Well, per usual, the air box won't come out. So we've removed a couple of screws already, and it's still hanging tight. We're going to try to not destroy anything, but no guarantees at this point. Well, Suzuki gets bonus points in my book. They have reusable cable ties. That's what I'm talking about. Save that 3 cents. This is like one of those mind trick puzzles, trying to fit this carburetor out through there. Like, seriously. So close. I need a pry bar. Finally. No pry bar required. Yep, good old Mikuni. Well, that used to be gas. It's got the viscosity of about gear oil, though. It's got that old gas smell to it, like, you know, pre-ethanol. I would say this is probably 6 to 8, maybe 8 to 9 years old. But since it's the old real gas, it doesn't get quite as rancid as quickly. Yeah, that takes decades to get up to the dinosaur tar level. We're probably going to tear this apart and it'll be like spick and span inside. No, my luck. So now we're trying to get that rancid old gas out of there. Well, we got the carburetor apart, and it was worth the adventure. There's definitely a little bit of grunge down in there, so yeah, always good to start off fresh and know you got that carburetor cleaned out good. Now, I don't know if it was gravity assist, but the carburetor went back in there easier than it came out. Well, that's the second pot full of oil because this thing was really overfilled. That's why we couldn't see anything on the sight gauge. So we've actually got a view of that back. So not going to change the filter right yet, since I usually like to actually run the motor a little bit, get all that crud stirred up off the bottom, and then change the oil. So I'll just put some fresh oil in, run it for a little while, and then change the oil again with a fresh filter. Well, now I see why the plastic was cracked there. Geez, you needed some clearance to get that spark plug out. And the only way I could get the spark plug out was to get the factory socket. So we dug back into the tool pouch and well, we found some corn, but that actually had what we needed. Boy, they didn't make access easy on this one. So now we're just going to burn the carbon off of this plug because we're not actually spending the money to get a new one. Yeah, that got it. So while the other plug's cooling off, I threw in another one to test for sparks. Yep, should be good to go there. Just about time to go get some gas. You can tell that this didn't have ethanol fuel in it because the rubber gaskets and stuff in the tank are still good. So we're going to put some more non-ethanol in it just to, you know, try and keep things going. All the fuel lines and stuff. Yeah, we don't want to replace anything. Got to set the odometer back to 0. Well, the trip meter. Alright, well, we got the plug back in there. Pretty sure we're in neutral because I rolled it in here. We don't have a battery, so we're going to pull start this beast. Had to spray some WD-40 on the choke plunger to get it moving up in there. Alright, choke's on. I didn't mess with the decompression yet. Maybe I should. Well, still needs some choke. Doesn't want to run without the choke. Maybe we'll let it warm up a little bit. Huh. So we spent the big bucks and actually bought a filter for this thing. So we got artificial power, since we're not actually going to buy a battery for this thing, especially since it's an odd size. So, here we go. So we got light. Let's see if the E-start works. Oh, I can't beat that. Even the tail light works. So we made it about 7 feet before we need an adjustment. These handlebars are just too low. That ain't working. it doesn't happen often, but we actually cleaned this thing up, gave it a little bit of a wash, and wow, actually looks pretty clean. Really kind of a shame that that decal, you know, half of it's missing. Otherwise, this thing would have been a pretty good looking quad after all that. And after checking the date codes on all the tires, it appears that this one here and that right front one are both the original tires from 1984 date of manufacture, and the other two were replaced in 1994. So, semi-vintage tires. And while we're on the subject of three-wheelers, man, that still gets me angry. Consumer Product Safety Commission, you know, nothing like saying that people can't